why not just believe it's going to happen rather than believe it's not going to happen? Because there's no downside to believing something. Like, what's the downside? I want a wheelchair so bad. How do you get so much done? I don't. I let myself be a mess. It's not a problem. Like, living chronically ill, being in pain, being fatigued, it's not a problem. So here we are for part 2 of my Q&A. If you missed the last one, go check that one out. If you don't know who I am, kind of weird that you're here on a Q&A video, but if you are, I'm Aimee Esther. I have several chronic illnesses. You can learn about them on the links below, but let's get started answering more questions that you guys sent me. Oh, we have a lot. We have a lot to get through today. Let's see if we can do it. Well, let's just go. Let's just get into this. Okay. Question number 1, did you resolve SIBO? And I had a lot of questions like that. You know, what do you do? Like, did you get rid of SIBO? What do you do for SIBO? Blah, blah, blah. Y'all, I'm so bad. I don't know. SIBO is my enemy. I feel like I've found solutions for every other problem that I have, and I have a lot of problems. If you've been here before, you know that. I can't kill SIBO. I don't know how to do it. I'm sorry, but I don't know how. The best lead I had was to do keto, cut out carbs, basically. But the rest of my body can't handle that. So, yeah, I don't have an answer for you. SIBO is my enemy, you guys. Okay, next question. How do you get ready every day? I had a couple questions like this. Like, I don't have the energy. How do I get ready? Why do you get ready every day? How do you do it? So first of all, the reason I get ready every day is because it makes me feel good mentally. Like, if it doesn't make a difference for you mentally, like, then don't do it. I mean, I'm all about saving your energy for what's important to you. And to me, getting ready is important to me. Not because I need to look a certain way, but because I feel beautiful when I put makeup on, and I don't feel beautiful when I don't wear makeup. That's just me. I don't feel good about myself. And I feel like when my mental health is in a better place, my physical health is in a better place. And when my mental health is in a better place, it's easier to deal with the physical problems. If I'm happier, if I feel good about myself, if I have self-confidence, then I feel pain and it's a lot easier to deal with, even if I feel the exact same pain and I'm feeling, down on myself and I'm feeling, I don't know, I feel better. I don't know how to explain it. But the way that I get ready is makeup, I just sit down on my floor. Usually I have my kids jumping around me and they're trying to take my makeup from me, but I just sit on my floor and I do my makeup. And it doesn't take that much energy to me. I don't know. I mean, I'm not very good at it. I'm not like this professional makeup artist, and it takes me like 10 minutes tops, like 10 minutes to do the full makeup like I did today. Sometimes I'll kind of half makeup, where I just kind of do the necessary things, in my opinion, necessary. And that takes me literally 5 minutes. I can get ready so fast. So I guess learn how to get ready fast is number 1. I do it on the floor again. And then with my hair, I just do it once a week. So I should do a whole video on this. I'll do a whole video and show you how I do my hair, how it's so fast, but literally I didn't do anything to this. This was just left over from yesterday. So what I do is once a week I take a shower. Okay, I shower every day. Sorry. I do shower every day. But once a week I wash my hair in the shower. And then after I either straighten or curl it in some way. And then I just leave it the rest of the week. Sometimes I have to re-straighten a little bit or have to re-curl little pieces, but I mean, it stays pretty well that it takes me 30 seconds to just quickly finish up my hair. So I have one big day. Usually it's Sunday because my husband's home and we're really relaxed on that day. It's our day of rest. And so, yeah, that's usually what I do. Okay, next question. Do you have any advice on when is the right time to know when you should get a wheelchair? I mean, obviously that depends on the person and who you are. I want a wheelchair really bad. I'm really excited about it, actually. I mean, you seem like you don't really want one. I really want one because I think it'd be awesome to be able to take my kids to the zoo and to like Disneyland one day or something, but I could not do that. There's literally, I would die at Disneyland. I think I would pass out and die. I'm not even kidding. Like, that's funny. Okay. I feel like that's not even exaggeration. I would pass out if I went to Disneyland. I wouldn't die, but I would probably pass out. In fact, funny story, the only time I ever went to Disneyland, I got a kidney stone. Yep, true story. That's my life, you guys. I was in 5th grade. I got a kidney stone in 5th grade at Disneyland. The only time I ever went. True story. Okay. Anyway, yeah, I want a wheelchair so bad so that I can take my kids to places like that. So yeah, that's something I want. So if you don't want it, then I don't know, don't get it. But if you want it, like me, and it sounds amazing to be able to go somewhere, I guess maybe that's my answer to your question, is you need to change your mindset on it. If your mindset is, poor me, I don't want to have a wheelchair, then of course it's going to be awful to get a wheelchair. But if your mindset is, I get to have a wheelchair so that I can go do things that I normally couldn't do, that sounds amazing. I could go on a walk with my children in a wheelchair. They could get their walk in or bike ride or whatever they want to do, and I could just sounds amazing. Okay. That's just me. I don't know, but maybe I'm weird. Okay, I am weird. I get really happy about things like that. I get really happy about socks, compression socks. They're like my greatest joy in life. Everyone I talk to who has POTS, I shouldn't say everyone, but a lot of people I talk to who have POTS complain about wearing compression socks, and it's like, makes me so happy. Like, I cannot explain enough how happy I am every single day when I get to put my compression socks on, because I know what it feels like to not wear them, and it's miserable. I know what it feels like to walk around Target without a wheelchair, and it's miserable. Like, give me a wheelchair and I will be so happy. Let me know in the comments below if you know of a good one, but I need one. Okay, my next question. Were you anemic during delivery? I mean, probably. I was anemic my whole pregnancy, and that probably. I didn't check, so I don't know. Probably. Are you worried about getting pregnant again? No. So I have PCOS and endometriosis, 2 things that cause infertility. My daughter took about 2 years to get pregnant with, which I feel like was pretty good. For someone who has PCOS and endometriosis and a lot of other problems, I feel like that was pretty good. I did have a couple miscarriages, and that was awful. And my son, I felt like I got pregnant really fast. It was only about a year and a half. Year and a half? No, less than that. It was like 15 months-ish. So yeah, I mean, I had 2 kids. Okay, so here's my answer to your question. Am I worried about getting pregnant again? No, for 2 reasons. First reason is I have 2 babies, and that shows that, like, it's possible. So in my mind, like, why not just believe it's going to happen rather than believe it's not going to happen? Because there's no downside to believing something. Like, what's the downside? There's no downside to believing something could happen. The other reason I'm not worried is because I don't know if I will. I don't know. It wouldn't surprise me if I did, but right now that's not the plan. So I don't know. I'm going to have more kids. I definitely will have more kids. I don't know if I'll be pregnant again, if that makes sense. Next question is about POTS medication. So I had a lot of people ask me why, if I'm on medication, and then also like why am I not taking medication? Just questions about medication and POTS. No, I'm not on any medication for POTS. No, I do not plan to ever be. I am extremely sensitive to medication. There is one prescription medication that I take, and guys, this is so crazy. I'm going to tell you this now. The only prescription medication I take reached out to me to sponsor me on this channel, and it was like my dream sponsor. I'm like, heck yes, I already take this and I love it. So videos coming about that soon, but literally, I'm not even kidding. The only one I take reached out to me, and it just made me so happy, because usually I just automatically say no to any kind of medication. People that reach out to me because I don't take it, and it feels weird to be sponsored by something that I don't want to use. But anyways, there's only one that I take, and it's as needed. Okay, so it's not a POTS medication, I guess is what I'm saying. Where was I going with this? Brain fog. Do you guys just like completely forget what you're saying and doing Like, the question is sitting here in front of me, and I don't know what I'm saying. Okay. With not taking medication to help your POTS, how high does your heart rate get when doing daily tasks? I don't check my heart rate anymore, you guys. I used to swear by Fitbits, and I had one on my wrist all the time. And I started to notice that I just obsessed over it, and it was too much for me. I would think about it too much. I'd check it too much. It just became like an obsession. And I also could always tell. So I could just tell, like, oh, my heart rate's getting really high. I'd look at my Fitbit and be like, yep, it's really high. I should lay down. So I don't know. I don't feel like I need to know, I guess. When I feel sick, I lay down. I just listen to my body. My body tells me what it needs. I don't need to look at a number to tell me what it needs. Now, I'm not saying you don't need to. If that works for you, by all means, do it. Check your heart rate if you like it, if it helps you. For me, I just listen to what my body tells me, and I follow with that. So I might be standing and doing the dishes and be like, whoa, I'm getting real dizzy. Oh, I'm not feeling good. I'll just go lay down, and then I'll finish the dishes later. Or sometimes I just don't finish the dishes, and that's not a big deal either. I feel like people often think that I just do so much, and I'm always going. And I think I had a question about this, actually. Yeah, I don't know where it is, but I know I had a question about, like, people watching my, cleaning and decluttering videos and be like, I don't know how you get that much done. I can't. I just take it day by day. Sometimes I get so much done. Like, it blows my own mind how much I get done. And then other days, I literally just do, like, I want to say I do nothing, but, just lay on the couch. I hang out with my kids. I get takeout. And like I mentioned in my last Q&A, I use paper plates and I don't do the dishes. That happens a lot. So my advice is that you just listen to your body, and what your body tells you, you should maybe do that. Just try it. See what happens. But that doesn't mean you don't push through sometimes, and sometimes you have to get something done even though you're not feeling good. Like, I have babies, I have to get up with them at night even though I don't feel good. And you just listen to your body and the timing, and you just figure it out. And some days are terrible and you feel like you're a failure, but to me, the power came when I just decided that it's all okay. It's okay if I do nothing today. It's okay if I do everything today. It's okay if I send the kids to grandma's because I'm too tired or I want to take a nap. It's okay. Like, I can do all of those things and still be a good mom. I can still be a good person. I can still be taking care of my body. Like, I just figure it out as I go, and I love myself through all of it. Like, I'm a hot mess, and I love myself every day, even though I suck at life sometimes, and sometimes I get nothing done. And then sometimes I pat myself on the back because I did so much. And I did have more questions about, speaking of, I don't remember the exact question. Again, there's so many, I'm just getting a little lost in here. But I know I had a question about productivity as well. And I do have a course on productivity. I'll link it down below. I'm actually redoing it, and I'm super excited. It's going to be amazing. I'm going to add a workbook to it. So if you've already purchased the course, you'll get that free when it updates. It might be a couple months, like, I don't know, I do what I can. Some days I get a lot of my productivity workbook done. Some days I don't, and that's okay. So that will be coming out soon, but if you buy it now, I'm not sure, I might raise the price once I update it, in which case you might want to buy it now so that you get the updated version for a better price, because you'll get the updated version if you're already in there. Okay, let's keep going in order because I'm getting scattered. Okay, medications. Okay, mornings. What are mornings like for you? I have the hardest time getting up and going. I hate mornings. I used to be a morning person, you guys. My whole life, I would go to bed at 9. I'd wake up at 5. I loved mornings. I got so much done. And even since I've been sick, I tried to be a morning person. I told myself I was a morning person. And then I just decided I don't really care. Like, I don't care that I'm not a morning person. I don't care that I'm super tired and grumpy in the morning. Like, that's okay. And again, I let myself be a mess. Like, and then what's funny is I'm less of a mess when I allow myself to be a mess. It sounds backwards, but it really does work. See, I just let my kids wake me up because I'm too tired to get up before them. I used to just think I had to get up before them or I ruined my day. And now I'm like, you know what? I kind of want to sleep in. And so I do. And I don't beat myself up for it. I do it. And I hate mornings, and I just remind myself that in a couple hours I'll feel better. Right now is my time to be annoyed. Right now is my time to be kind of grumpy. Right now is my time to wish that I was sleeping. Right now is my time to just complain a little bit. So I complain a lot in the mornings. That's how I get through my mornings. Oh, there's the question. How do you get so much done? Well, we already answered that. I don't. And I just take it day by day. Okay, do you still suffer from chronic fatigue syndrome? Do you get PEM, which is like post-external malaise, which is like you get tired after doing stuff? Yeah. So, yes, I get exhausted very quickly. And I'm just used to it. I don't know I guess I feel like I'm not very good at answering these questions because I just deal with it. Like, to me, I just stopped trying to change it. I stopped trying to tell myself that I should have more energy. I feel like I'm answering all these questions the same, but that's the answer is all the same, is that I just allow myself to be really tired sometimes and not get it all done. And I just have so much fatigue and I get so exhausted so quickly, but I don't know, it doesn't bother me. Like, I'm just like, yeah, this is what happens when I do the dishes. I need to lay down. When I take a shower, I need to lay down. And I don't know. I just let life happen and I listen to my body. And so, yeah, I have chronic fatigue and I get extremely exhausted extremely fast. And I don't know, it's not a problem. I don't know. It's not really a problem to me. Have you been vaccinated? Yes, I got the vaccination for COVID a few weeks ago, and yeah, it has caused me no problems. So, yes, yeah. If you don't like vaccinations, totally fine. That's awesome for you. I'm not saying that you should get vaccinated if it's not the right thing for you, but for me, it was the right thing, so I got vaccinated. Okay, tips for YouTube or blogging. I want to start a YouTube channel. I don't know how to have the energy. How do you do it with kids and chronic illness? So again, the same answer, which is I just kind of take it day by day. I try to be 2 weeks ahead on all my videos, and like last month I wasn't, and so I just did one video a week so I could kind of get caught up because I had a really crazy time. My kids' naps are exactly opposite right now, meaning like as soon as one wakes up, the other goes down, and because of that, I have like literally zero time during the day. And yeah, so my tips would be to be ahead all the time so that if you have a bad day, you don't have to be stressed about having to get something done, and you just, I don't know, just do it. That's my answer, is just try it. Like, I don't know. To me, it's just like an outlet and it makes me happy. And even if I'm in pain and I have a migraine right now, and I have a migraine and my body hurts and I'm sweating and I probably, camera doesn't show you what's really happening here, but I'm like sweating and I just like look gross and feel gross, but it's just my passion and I love it and I love serving you guys and hanging out with you. And so I just do it even though I don't feel good sometimes. I don't know, I like it. And so it brings me joy. And sometimes I just have to decide, do I want to rest right now and deal with the struggle of not getting stuff done? Like, would I rather lay here and think about all the things I'm not doing? Or would I rather get up and do something and then deal with the pain and the fatigue? And to me, a lot of the times I would prefer to get stuff done and use my brain to manage my pain than not get stuff done and use my brain to manage not getting stuff done, if that makes sense. Because to me, that's easier. I find that dealing with pain is easier than dealing with, not getting things done or living in a dirty house or those kind of things. Like, I love cleaning my house. Even though I don't have a lot of energy for it, I love it and it brings me joy. And so it's easier for me to get more pain to clean my house than it is to not clean my house and just deal with not cleaning my house. Does that make sense? I don't know if that makes sense, but it's all in your head, right? It's all this mental energy. What do you want to use your mental energy for? Do you want to use it to cope with your pain? Do you want to use it to cope with the things that you're not doing, or with work, or with a YouTube channel, or whatever it is that you want to do? Well, where do you want to use that mental energy? Because you're going to be feeling bad either way, right? You're going to be feeling disappointed that you didn't get it done, or you're going to be feeling disappointed that you're in pain. Like, I don't know. I just don't like to let pain stop me. I like to use it to become a better person, and I don't want it to stop me. So I just keep going. That's what I do. Okay. So a lot of people ask me about my diet. They'll be like, do you not get inflammation when you eat sugar? Or why are you eating X, Y, or Z? Like, why are you eating these foods? As I posted a video and I was very honest of all the things that I ate in a week. And I had a chocolate shake. I think I had chocolate like every single day. I ate pasta. I just ate things that maybe aren't healthy or aren't high inflammation or whatever it is. But I'm just trying to heal my relationship with food and remind myself that I can still enjoy food and I can be happy while I eat it. So right now I'm working on my mindset. So yeah, like sugar doesn't make me feel great, but right now I'm not really worried about that. I'm worried about feeling crappy every time I eat food. It's again kind of what we were talking about before with like, where do you want to put your mental energy right now? And yes, eventually I would love to cut some things out of my diet. And I think I talked about this in my last Q&A or in a video recently that I want to eat more vegetarian style. Like, that's kind of my goal, more plant-based. But right now, it's just not what but right now I just want to focus on healing my mental health and healing my relationship with food. And so I'm not worried about what's the food doing to my body at this point. I'm worried about what is it doing to my mind, if that makes sense. And once I really feel like I've got that down, then I'm going to move on to phase 2, which is, okay, now I really want to know what foods are good for my body. What symptoms do I feel after? Because what I've been doing is I'll eat something, and if I feel any symptom at all, I just blame myself and I get down on myself and I'm mad at myself and I'm blaming the food for everything that is happening to me. And the food might be making a big difference. It might not, but I don't even know because I get so down on myself about it, if that makes sense. So right now, how is this food affecting my mental health? And then we can deal with how is the food affecting my physical health, if that makes sense. So does sugar cause inflammation in me? I don't know, probably. I mean, I would probably guess yes. But there's foods that I've noticed I don't think do. Like gluten, I don't think it causes me any problems. Like, I've been able to eat bread and be fine. So I'm just trying to heal myself mentally and physically. And to me, mentally right now was the more important one. And maybe we'll get to physical soon. We'll see. Okay, next question. I'm miserable. How are you so happy? I've never met someone who struggled with POTS and is that happy. How do you do it? So we talked about this a little bit. I've talked about this a lot, I think. If you want the details, I have a course on how I've changed my mindset on it. I say how I changed it as in, like, it's about me, but the course is about you. It's called Chronically Me, as in you're saying chronically me, right? So it's about you. It's how to change your mindset while living chronically ill. I also do life coaching if you guys are interested in that. I only have a few spots left open. In fact, I might only have one now, so you might want to hurry and jump in until I'll open it back up later. But if you want coaching, I do life coaching to help you change your own mindset around living with chronic illness. So if you're interested in that, I will leave that link down below. But that's how we can give you more help. Of course, I can answer questions here on YouTube, but I can only say so much. My course is really long and it comes with a huge workbook. It's over 100 pages. And then coaching with me, we dive deep into your specific circumstances, what you're going through, how we can fix your brain and help you to feel better. So those are my options for you. But yeah, I would say the reason that I'm so happy is because of my own life coach. I went to life coaching. I kind of changed my mindset. If you can't tell, I have a pretty positive mindset when it comes to chronic illness. It's not a problem to me. I don't know. it's not a problem. Like living chronically ill, being in pain, being fatigued, it's not a problem. And that's where I think people see me and they think that I either am not in pain or I'm just crazy. And maybe I am crazy. I don't know. But that's the truth, is that it's not a problem to me anymore. It used to be. I used to just hate my life. I was miserable. I was so depressed. You would not even believe. And now I don't know. It's not a very big problem. So, not to say I don't complain, because I definitely do complain. Like I said, mornings are my complain time, but I just give myself time to complain so that the rest of the day I'm doing fine. And yeah, some days I have a whole day of complaining too, and it's not that it's just mornings, but sometimes I just complain and I allow myself to complain so that it doesn't become a problem. I don't know, it's just full circle, right? The complaining's not a problem, the chronic illness is not a problem. It just, I don't know, it all works together, and I live a really good life. I'm just really happy. Okay, SIBO and pregnancy. How do you cope? I should have answered this before when I talked about SIBO. Again, it's not a very good answer. I just deal with it. When you are pregnant, at least for me and many people I've talked to, SIBO gets a lot better. The bigger you get, it's almost like you get so big that you can't get more bloated than you are big. So I just deal with it. The first trimester is hard for everyone, I think, when they're pregnant. And then the next two, it just gets better and better. So by the end, I felt like I could eat anything and not have very severe symptoms. However, my gallbladder got a lot worse when I was pregnant, but my SIBO symptoms got a lot better. And then as soon as I had the baby, they came back. So as per usual Aimee advice, I just deal with it. I allow myself to feel pain. I don't think it's a problem, and it slowly gets better over the pregnancy. Then it comes back. Okay, I love this next question. This is right down my alley. I saw you have SIBO. We're going back to SIBO, but this one's a little bit different. She talks about some things about her. In your symptoms, did you have trouble passing gas? Because that was my main symptom. And sorry, this is so weird. I love it. I'm an open book. You guys can ask me anything. Yeah, she's acting like I'm over SIBO. I'm not over SIBO. It's still here all the time. Yeah, I have trouble passing gas. I get the worst gas pains. Like, there are times where I seriously am like, oh my gosh, do I have a kidney stone? Like, am I rupturing another ovarian cyst? Like, what is happening inside my body? I'm in so much pain, and I just like want to cry. And then a few hours later, I realized it was gas. So I get really bad gas pains. Like, it's embarrassing how bad my gas pains get. Usually they're really bad when I've gone somewhere. Like, I go to like dinner at someone's house or something, and like I'm not even consciously thinking about it. I'm just holding it in, because you don't want to let it out when you're with other people. And then I get really, really bad gas pains. So yeah, I mean, yes, it's hard. And I don't say I really have any advice except for to just not hold it in if possible. Like, maybe go to the bathroom and take a break, let some out, and then continue what you're doing. When I'm at home, it's not nearly as bad because I think I just naturally let it out. But if I keep it in, then it gets stuck. Okay, that sounds gross, but like I can't, like, even after I'm done where I was, or like I go home, it's like it's too late. It's built up and I can't get it out at that point. So I just lay down and I wait till my body's ready, and I deal with the pain as I do, and eventually it makes its way out. So yeah, I don't have much advice except to just try to let it out as much as possible. Okay, next question, just a simple, how is your health doing now? It's good-ish. Good days and bad days. It's been really bad recently. Been very nauseous, fatigued, tired, exhausted. I've had a migraine for the past week straight. I feel like I have the flu. Yeah, I mean, I feel terrible. I think stress I've been moving. We are moving and selling our house and babies and young children. And so I feel like my health has been really bad this past month. And I've been eating all the things, which I'm sure is not helping. So yeah, I'm not worried about it. Like, I think I'm going to get back to a good place soon. I don't know. I feel like I don't really have an answer for that. I do a monthly health update, so that might have a little more details about what's going on. But yeah, it's not doing that good. My goodness, you guys. We still have so many questions to get through. I think I'm going to do 3 parts to this. I've never done a 3-part Q&A, but I think we need to do it because I have so many questions that I still want to get to, but this video is going to be 2 hours long if we do that. So let's end it there. We'll do a part 3 and then we'll go from there. Again, if you have more questions, you can leave them down below. I'm happy to answer them in a future Q&A. Add it to the ever-growing list. I love answering your questions. It's one of my favorite things to do. And I'll see you guys in my next video.